Conference tournament season has arrived, which means the postseason is just around the corner for fall sports here in Naperville. Hello and welcome to another edition of Naperville Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Kim Pierce. Metea Valley football has never defeated District 204 rival Neuqua Valley. Will this be the year that the 2-2 Mustangs have the edge over the 1-3 Wildcats? Check out this week's highlights to find out.
Tonight's football action kicks off with a grudge match between Neuqua Valley and Metea Valley. The Mustangs are looking to score their first win over the Wildcats, while Neuqua looks to secure its second conference win this season. Both teams are coming off of multiple losses and need a win to keep their seasons alive. The Wildcats start with the ball and get the ground game going as Andy Barkley takes the pitch and surges down the right side for a 17-yard run to get the running lanes open for Neuqua. A few plays later, now in the red zone, Drake Meneke gets the snap and runs to his right with plenty of time. He throws it to the end zone and finds a wide-open Ben Stefanski for the touchdown to put Neuqua up 7-0 off of an opening drive score. The Mustangs respond with a drive of their own. Charlie Larson fakes it once, then launches it deep to the left side, finding CJ Jordan all alone. He has green grass ahead of him and strolls in for a 57-yard touchdown catch, as we're all tied up at 7 at the end of the first quarter. Now in the second quarter, the Wildcats are driving again with the ground and pound game. This time it's Pierce Stevens who dashes towards the left side and gets taken down inside the red zone for a 20-yard run to set the Cats up in quality scoring position. A couple plays later, Stevens has the rock again and runs into a pile, disappearing for a moment, but he keeps pushing. He eventually gets swung to the ground, but only after crossing the plane for a touchdown. Neuqua is back up 14-7. Next drive for the Mustangs, they go for it on 4th and 2 from their own 28. Larson throws it to his left side and finds Owen Goad, who makes a miraculous catch to move the chains for Metea. Now on the plus side of the field, Larson loads up the deep ball again, this time finding Corday Kennedy for an over-the-shoulder catch that gets Metea in the red zone and in position to tie the game again. The catch goes for 35 yards to the 10. 2 plays later, Larson caps off the drive as he takes it home and pushes forward for the touchdown. As the Mustangs tie the game up once again at 14, Neuqua would add a field goal late in the quarter to put the Wildcats up 17-14 at halftime. Neuqua gets the ball back in the third quarter, and the ground game dominates again as Stevens takes the handoff and finds the open lane up the left side. He slices past the defense and carves up a 36-yard touchdown run to open up a 10-point lead for the Wildcats. The Mustangs look to get back in rhythm and try some trickery. Larson's pass is almost intercepted, but it's tipped in the air and falls in the waiting arms of Goad. He has room to run and tight ropes down the right sideline before being taken down near the 35 for a huge momentum shift. But Neuqua's defense locks down as on 4th and long, Larson's pass for Marcus Seward is defended by Andrew Hoffman and falls incomplete as Neuqua takes over. Following a pair of Neuqua field goals, Metea looks to rally as Larson evades the rush and rolls to his right. He looks downfield and throws to Seward again, who this time makes an insane catch inbounds good for 38 yards to keep the Mustangs' chances alive. A couple plays later, it's another connection as Larson throws a wobbler to Seward, who's in the end zone for an 18-yard touchdown strike to put Metea back in reach. They line up for a 2-point conversion and Larson and Seward make it a 3-for-3 on the drive with another end zone catch as the Mustangs are down by 8 with just a little over 2 minutes left to play. Metea would line up to attempt an onside kick as it goes high in the air, but Lucas Balgrow is able to recover and give possession back to the Wildcats. Extracurricular activity occurs, but it's still Cats ball. Then to ice it, Neuqua's ground game does the rest, as they claim a 37-22 win over Metea Valley, snapping a 3-game losing streak. Next up for them is a road match against Homewood Flossmoor, while Metea is also on the road, taking on Lincoln Way East.
It's homecoming night at Naperville North as they take on the visiting Lockport Porters. Last season, these two teams met as the Huskies erased a second-half deficit on the road to beat Lockport 31-20. The 2-2 Huskies look to get back above 500 after losing 24-10 on the road against Homewood Flossmoor. Lockport enters tonight on a 3-game losing streak after their most recent loss to Lincoln Way East. The game remains scoreless after multiple defensive stops. The Husky special teams unit makes an impact early as John Riordan tries to punt, but the Porter return man muffs the attempt and it's recovered by North's Brady Marino. Now with a short field, the North offense looks to take advantage with North quarterback Josiah Nothacker finding tight end Finian Brittag for a big game as he gets tackled inside the red zone. Husky kicker Leo Taylor has the chance to break the tie. His kick goes through the uprights as North gets on the board first, leading 3-0. On the next Lockport drive, quarterback Brendan Metcher throws the jump ball to receiver Kiari Cias, who comes down with it inside the red zone. A few plays later, Lockport running back Christopher Miller takes the handoff, cuts back left, and finds the end zone. The Porters take the lead 6-3 after a missed extra point. Early in the third, the Lockport offense is in the red zone, but it's a fumble after a bad exchange, recovered by defensive lineman Will Wagner. Wagner's fumble recovery provides the spark for the North offense as Nothacker finds receiver Jack Zitko across the middle. The junior receiver sets up the blue and orange offense near the goal line. Moments later, the Huskies offense finds the end zone as running back William Ello punches it in for the touchdown. North leads 10-6 with 5:47 left in the third. Responding nicely after the early fumble, Lockport's Christopher Miller finds a crease and turns on the speed to move the chains. Beginning stages of the fourth quarter, the Porter running back caps off the drive with his second touchdown of the night. The Porters lead 13-10 with 9:38 left in the quarter. Ensuing Husky drive, Husky running back William Elo takes the handoff, gets to the outside, and picks up a first down in Lockport territory. Fourth down for the Husky offense just past midfield. Nothacker sits in the pocket and finds Zitko downfield, breaking a tackle for the touchdown. Shortly after the Husky touchdown, the Porter quarterback throws a beautiful pass to receiver Colton Benitis, who outraces the Husky defense to retake the lead. The Porters now lead 20-17 with just over 5 minutes remaining. Jumping ahead to just over 30 seconds left in the game, North's offense needing a miracle, trailing by 3. The Husky offense picks up a big chunk with Brittag reeling in the contested catch for the first down and getting out of bounds. There's a chance to send it to overtime with a 55-yard field goal. The Huskies' kick has the leg, but trails far right. Lockport hangs on to get the big victory on the road against Naperville North 20-17.
It's Friday Night Light action. Tonight's matchup is the Waubonsie Valley Warriors hosting the Lincoln Way West Warriors. West looks to keep its undefeated season intact after defeating Lincoln Way Central 17-12. Waubonsie is still seeking their first win of the season and looks for it tonight with an upset against an undefeated West. Waubonsie looks to get the offense going as Ishmael Elliott has a nice carry for some yardage. The Valley Warriors are faced with a 3rd and long. The offense holds the line as their quarterback throws a 45-plus yard strike up the seam for the first touchdown of the night. Waubonsie leads 7-0 early in the first. Waubonsie keeps the offense rolling after their defense forces a punt. Elliott sets the tone for the offense in the rushing attack, putting Waubonsie in the red zone. That much closer to more points on the scoreboard. Valley Warrior Braden Hostetler powers through West defense, getting the touchdown and extending their lead to 14-0 with less than 3.5 minutes remaining in the first. Lincoln Way West looks to get some energy flowing as Grant Tustin connects with wide receiver Ethan Swanson for a significant gain, sparking momentum for their offense. Swanson's gain is what West needed as Jimmy Talley Jr. muscles his way through Waubonsee's defense. He secures West's first touchdown of the night. They trail 7-14 at the end of the first. West plays stout defense, forcing Waubonsee to take 3 points on their previous drive, leading 17-14. West attempts to get some offense going as Tustin connects with Swanson again for a big gain on 2nd and medium. Swanson's reception is the momentum the Warrior offense needed as Talley Jr. scores his second touchdown of the night, but trails 17-14 at the half. Both teams show intense defense in the third quarter, but it's Lincoln Way West who comes to a third down. Tustin locates the open receiver and is met immediately by Hostetler for a big stop, leading to West taking the field goal to tie the game at 17 to end the third quarter. This one is all the way Lincoln Way West, as it's Talley Jr. who bursts through Waubonsee's defense for the night's final touchdown. Lincoln Way West defeats Waubonsee Valley 27-17, keeping them scoreless the remainder of the second half. Waubonsee Valley stays home next week, taking on Normal West, while Lincoln Way West stays on the road to take on DeKalb.
After the break, we'll take a look at our first conference tournaments of the year with boys and girls golf hitting the links.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
When it comes to buying a car, you want a deal that's fair, and that's exactly what you'll get at Fair Oaks Ford. It's why J.D. Power has named us the best customer experience in the business 4 years in a row. You know you'll experience fairness every step of the way. Right now, it's all about the zeros. Get 0% APR, $0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days on our most popular models. Fair pricing, fair deals. Fair Oaks Ford. It's right there in our name. Visit us on Ogden Avenue in Naperville or at fairoaksford.com.
The DVC Golf Championship has arrived, and the conference titles are completely up for grabs with strong contenders in the mix on both the boys and girls side. We'll tee things off at Phillips Park, where the Metea Valley girls look to make program history.
Let's tee off at Blackberry Oaks for the boys golf DVC tournament featuring all 6 teams, including defending champs Neuqua Valley. However, Naperville Central, North, and Waubonsee Valley have something to say after each team went 4-1 in the DVC regular season. Neuqua's Daniel Zhang gets things started on the second hole by getting out of the bunker and into putting position for a birdie. Zhang lines up for the birdie and hits it to win the par 5 battle and racks up 6 birdies overall. Over to hole 6, where Trevor Schmid sends his second shot deep onto the green but takes the par to stay even. Zach Boynton is eyeing a birdie with a promising putt until it slows up too early, so Boynton settles for par. Same hole, but a new golfer in Waubonsee's Adam Torian as he hits the par and pencils in a strong 75, the lowest score for the Warriors. Back to Schmid on the 7th hole, who wants more than a par. He wants a birdie, and he got it. Schmid and teammate Will Provenzano both shoot a 72, the lowest scores for the Huskies. The birdie theme continues as Warrior Arnav Nada hops in on the 1-under party. Staying on hole 7 with Lincoln Schultz, who places his chip in a great putting position and hits the par later on. More Husky birdies on display with Henry Hamisser, and he celebrates it with a thumbs up. Wait, hey now, there it is. We follow Homiser to the 12th green. He tries out for another birdie, but the putt misses the cup, so Homiser rallies for par. Shifting to Central's Graham Kavanaugh, whose tee shot is clear for takeoff and lands in his favorite site via the green. It's far from the cup, but Kavanaugh takes a par on the par 3. Here comes another par from Colin Mills, who gets it to go for Naperville North. Over to another par 3 where Drew Allen rips his tee shot to the good spot of the 15th green. Allen caps it off with a par. Back to Zhang as he continues his strong day by parring the hole and shooting the lowest round overall with a 67. Mattia makes some noise on hole 15 starting with Alex Reed. He unleashes a bullet to the landing zone and finishes it off with a par and shoots an 80. Caden Shaw's first shot may be off the course, but he does enough with this swing to get him back on track. That was pivotal because on the next stroke, Shaw secures the par. That's one way to recover after a rough start. Kavanaugh and Boynton lead the charge for Naperville Central as both lock up a round of 79 after Kavanaugh sinks the par on hole 18. Mills follows up and ends his day with a par and a round of 73. Though, hey now, that's good news for Naperville North as the Huskies clinched their first boys golf DVC title since 2012 after a team round of 292. North finishes ahead of Neuqua and Waubonsie Valley.
It's a perfect day for golf at Phillips Park in Aurora as Naperville Central hosts the DVC Girls Golf Championship. Both the team and individual titles are up for grabs, with plenty of talented golfers in the field. Ashika Patel from Naperville Central won the McGonigal to start the season and would like to add a conference championship to her impressive resume. On the 16th hole, she chips from the fairway right near the pin and finishes off with a par. Patel ends with a 76, good for third place overall. In the same group is Waubonsie Valley's top golfer, Minna Shyam. Just like Patel, she makes a nice chip onto the green and finishes with a par as well. Shyam with the second best score of the tourney with a 73 to lead the Warriors. Another Naperville Central senior, Mae Binkowski, sinks a par putt on the 17th hole. Binkowski with an 86, and fellow Red Hawk Alexa Miller shoots an 80 to help Central finish with a team score of 336. Naperville North has a young and inexperienced roster, but the team has improved throughout the year. Freshman Allie Andrews makes a nice par save on 17 as the Huskies score their best 18-hole team score of the season with a 357. Neuqua Valley is in the hunt throughout the day, led by Aditi Reddy and Malar Anand. Reddy shoots an 82 while Anand tallies an 80. Vivian Steger has a nice round as well with an 82 to finish in the top 10. Hannah Lee from Waubonsie Valley sinks a nice putt on the 14th green and wraps up a round of 88. The Warriors shoot a 334 as a team, good for third place, but only 7 strokes out of first. Mattia Valley finished in last place in the DBC a season ago, but looked to make a worst-to-first turnaround after a great regular season. Senior McKenna Wigfield helps the cause with a top 7 score of 81. The top individual of the tournament is Naperville North senior Addie Saganik. She has been a rock for the Huskies all year, and she caps off her great DBC career with a first-place finish. She makes a birdie on 14 and shoots a 70 on the day to take the medal by 3 strokes. Mattia Valley looks to hold off Neuqua Valley to secure the conference title. Freshman Maya Shah sinks a nice par putt on 17 as she scores the 4th best round of the day with a 77. That seals the win for the Mustangs, who win the first conference championship in program history with a 327. Neuqua Valley finishes in second place with a 330. Oyuhai Sarenen and Ansley Ellis chip in with an 83 and an 86 respectively. What a season for the Black and Gold, who head to regionals at Bliss Creek next week, along with Central, Neuqua, and Waubonsie. Naperville North will join ESCC champions Bennett Academy at Bloomingdale Golf Club.
The annual West Spencer Crosstown Football Classic between Naperville North and Naperville Central kicks off on October 24th this year. However, the first ever flag football edition of the Crosstown Classic took place last week, with the Huskies welcoming the Red Hawks for this historic matchup.
Welcome back to some girls flag football, as this matchup features the first ever Crosstown Classic for this sport, with Naperville North hosting Naperville Central. The Huskies seek to keep their winning ways alive after shutting out Andrew, while the Red Hawks look to pull off a road win after a tough loss to Yorkville. The Red Hawk offense looks to start flowing as Lila Hope connects with Nicole Smith, who keeps her legs moving through the contact for a Red Hawk first down. Central is facing third down, but that's no problem as Hope connects with Rosanna Mazza for the opening touchdown of the game. Red Hawks get the ball back facing another third down, but Hope looks for Smith again, and the connection works once again for 6 points to equal a 12-0 lead after 1. The Huskies look to get some offense rolling a few minutes into the second quarter. Ava Wilkie throws a dime to Sydney Montgomery in traffic, and she takes it to the house for the Huskies' first touchdown of the game, and they trail 12-6. The Red Hawks are quick to respond as Hope connects with the center, Maya Stoner, for a big catch and runs into Husky territory before she is tackled. Central offense is rolling as Hope connects with Smith in the back of the end zone, getting both feet in as she secures the hat trick of touchdowns, and it's 18-6 Red Hawks. North looks to get some offense flowing, but the Central defense says otherwise as Malia Shen makes the pick and takes it to the house for 6 as the Red Hawks hold a commanding 24-6 lead with less than 7 minutes left in the second quarter. Prior to the half, the Red Hawks look to find the end zone, and they do, with Smith taking the end around, knifing through the defense, and gets in for the touchdown. A controlling first half for Central results in a 33-6 lead at the half. To start the second half, the Huskies put together a nice drive that ends with the Wilkie rushing touchdown. However, that won't be enough as the Red Hawks take a 39-28 win over the Huskies.
The boys' soccer regular season is just past the halfway point, which means there are several critical conference clashes on the docket. The undefeated Huskies of Naperville North played host to Metea Valley, while Neuqua Valley visited Waubonsie Valley.
It's time for some boys soccer action. Tonight's matchup showcases the Naperville North Huskies and the Metea Valley Mustangs. The Huskies look to defend their home turf and keep their 4-game winning streak alive with a home victory tonight. The Mustangs are eager to keep their winning ways alive after capturing their second straight Body Armor Series. The Huskies easily make their way into Mustang territory as Carlos Cardona makes a deep pass to Josh Peterson for the shot attempt, but it's just off the mark, and we remain scoreless under 2 minutes in. North finds its way into Mustang territory again as Onkar Litter passes to Peterson. This time he can put it through the back of the net for the Huskies' first goal of the game as they lead 1-0 with 26 minutes left in the first half. Cam Brown makes his way into Metea territory again and attempts a shot. However, it's saved by Nathan Mansilla. Now the Mustangs get into Husky territory as Josh Aguado crosses it to Ian Van Horn for the header attempt, but Jack Bauska comes up with the save and the Huskies hold a 1-0 lead at the half. To start the second half, the Huskies are on the attack and look to strike fast as Will Boniface connects with the back of the Mustang net for another goal, and it's 2-0 Huskies. Mustangs look to prevent another score with some physical defense, but end up committing a penalty, sending Sam Hess for a penalty shot. Hess against Mansilla, and Hess wins the one-on-one battle for the Huskies' third and final goal. Metea gets a goal late in the contest, but it's Naperville North taking the cake 3-1. We're at Waubonsie Valley for a breezy senior night and some boys soccer action as the Warriors take on rival Neuqua Valley. The Wildcats are still searching for their first conference win, while the Warriors remain undefeated in the DVC at 2-0. Nikwa's Gavin Majewski and Oliver Broshannon are on the move. However, here comes Warrior goalie Sebastian Herrera, who denies access on Broshannon's attempt to strike, and that keeps things scoreless. Waubonsee's Matthew Rodriguez steps up for the corner kick, and off the cross, teammate Evan Wojtowicz goes for the header, but it sails over the crossbar. 15 minutes remain in the first half, and the Warriors are looking to flip the script. Junior Gavin Byrne goes for the magic touch and finds it back at the net, but it's called offsides by the officials. Majewski takes the corner, Alexera gets a hold of it in the crossfire and finds Logan Yu, though the shot is denied by Herrera, and we go into intermission scoreless. After 76 minutes of regulation play, we are still scoreless. Another opportunity presents itself for the Wildcats with Majewski, but his shot goes wide left. A few minutes later, the Cats are on the run again. Kushkurana, Angel Hinge, and Sarah tag team as Sarah launches to Adil Jeffrey. However, Herrera continues his strong night and makes another great stop to keep this game scoreless. Off the free kick, Lucas Garcia passes to Diego Rodriguez, and he slots it into the back of the net. That goal finally breaks the ice off the scoreboard, and that helps the Warriors to a 1-0 senior night win over the Wildcats.
It's Waubonsee Valley versus Naperville North on the Huskies' home turf. At one doubles, representing Naperville North, it's freshman Mikaelin Waller-Lee and junior Zana Chen. Across the net from the Warriors are junior Chloe Cochran and sophomore Devi Rao. Cochran has the serve. Chen sends several lobs to the back, which are sent back by Cochran as line drive forehands from the lefty. On the third return from the Huskies, Rao rushes to the net and smashes down for a point. The Warriors build a 3-0 first set lead. We're going to take another look at that point as the rally showcases great play from both sides. However, it's Rao's reaction to the high ball that makes the difference. She was ready to strike at any moment, and when the opportunity arose, she capitalized on it for a Warrior point and our play of the week.
Coming up next, we'll see if any of our local girls tennis teams can emerge as the team to beat in the DVC standings.
Oh, hi there. I'm Stephen Holt from NBC5. I'm just getting all my ducks in a row as I prepare to host NCTV 17's The Morning Show. Join me on November 13th as I host this annual fundraiser for the Naperville community's nonprofit television station. We're going to share some coffee, conversation, some great guests, and I promise you'll even quack a smile or two.
Local news is your lifeline. Let the Daily Herald help you navigate your world with solid reporting, good advice, and a much-needed diversion or two.
There is just 1 week remaining in the girls' tennis conference season. 4 local teams took part in key matchups, looking to earn critical points in the DVC race.
Naperville Central girls tennis hosts Metea Valley for an exciting DVC matchup. The Mustangs look to respond after a tough 4-3 loss against Naperville North, while the Redhawks look to continue to build momentum on their home court. Starting the day off with one singles between Redhawk Kavya Parameswar and Mustang Anya Madhavan. Both looking for the advantage while rallying from the back line, Parameswar approaches the net and sends a quick return, which the Mustang can't send back. Later on, the two continue to rally from the back line. Switching things up, Parameswar plays it short as Madhavan attacks the net and gets enough on her return, putting the Redhawk off balance for the score. In the second set, Parameswar looking to get the 2-set victory. Parameswar approaches the net while continuing the back and forth as the Redhawk ends the rally with the smart play. Parameswar gets the 2-set victory 6-1, 6-0. On over to 3 doubles between Redhawks Arya Ashok and Anushka Anand, matching up against Shrestha of Metea Valley and Vibha Manapali. Anushka Anand serves for the Redhawks and rallies with Shrestha of Metea Valley. The Redhawk puts an end to the rally with this amazing shot that bounces in the corner for the score. Shrestha of Metea Valley steps in front of the Redhawks' high return and bounces it to Anand, starting a new rally. Shrestha from Metea Valley's return bounces in play and flies above Anand's head for the score. Both teams split the first two sets as we look to break. After central serve, a backline rally starts as each shot bounces in the corner. Anushka Anand attacks the high Mustang return and sends her shot in between the Mustangs for the score. Naperville Central wins the final two sets, 6-3, 10-7. Moving over to two doubles between Metea's Smitha Narayana and Tavisha Shah against Central's Shaylee Ha and Amy Yang. After the Mustang serve, Redhawk Shaylee Ha takes advantage of the Mustangs on the back line as her return bounces in the right corner for the score. Moments later, Yang and Narayana rally back and forth from the back line with neither giving up any ground. The Mustang takes a step towards the net to keep the rally going, and it's enough to secure the point. 2 sets isn't enough to decide the winner as we move on to another tiebreaker. The Redhawks attack Mustang Tavisha Shah after the serve. Shah rises to the challenge, sending her return to the back line. The Mustang shot is just out of the reach of Amy Yang for the score. Amy Yang starts off the tiebreaker strong for the Redhawks. Yang puts an end to the return with an approach to the net, and her shot bounces short for the score. Narayana's return just gets over the net as the Redhawk attacks the nets to keep the ball alive. The Redhawk puts too much on her return, and it goes out of bounds. Metea wins the final 2 sets, 7-6, 7-5. Naperville Central gets the DVC victory, 5-3 over Metea Valley.
The DVC girls tennis season bounces on with Naperville North hosting Waubonsie Valley. Both teams hope to rebound from close losses a week ago. Starting things off with 2 singles where Mahika Gokali from Naperville North takes on Amanda Kornak from Waubonsie Valley. Kornak serves in the far court as the Husky has a return. Waiting for the lob, Gokali whips a forehand just inside the line for the point and the early advantage. Kornak serves in the near court. Gokali lines a pair of returns back over. Kornak takes the backhand and drops it right on the line and out of reach. A well-played point for the Warrior looking to keep things close. Gokali with a serve and another volley back and forth as she looks to move Kornak around. A hard forehand clips the net, but the Warrior recovers and gets the return over. But Gokali comes to the net and slices a point the other way, taking the win in straight sets. At 1 singles, a pair of talented sophomores square off. Anda Alezi from Naperville North takes on Lydia Peranto from Waubonsie. Peranto is one of the most powerful players in the area. Alezi does what she can to keep the ball alive, but the Peranto forehand is too much to overcome. The Husky has plenty of power and skill of her own as she looks to keep Peranto on her toes later in the set. Alezi keeps her opponent closer to the back and earns the point by forcing an error into the net. Alezi trails just 4 games to 3 in the opening set. Whenever Peranto can avoid an error, she's able to unleash a strong forehand to maintain control. The Warrior takes the first set 6-3 and rolls through set 2 6-0 to get Waubonsie on the board. In 2 doubles, Waubonsie looks for another tally on the scoreboard with Sana Kalra and Carrie Gar against Miriam Ahmed and Varsha Pamalupati from Naperville North. Gar serves for the Warriors in the near court. Kalra waits at the net for a return and reaches up with a quick backhand that bounces twice between the Huskies. Waubonsie takes the first set 6-4. Pamalupati serves for the Huskies in the second set. She shares multiple volleys, moving off to the side and making several returns with the Warriors. A Waubonsie return is popped up, which allows Ahmad time to run over and launch a forehand that hits off the racket of Kalra as she is unable to keep the ball alive. The second set is tied up at 6-6 and heads to a tiebreaker. Gar has a serve in the tiebreaker as the Warriors hope to avoid a third set. Ahmad looks to cut her shot across the court, but Kalra cuts it off with a backhand, earning the point. Waubonsie hangs on with a hard-fought win, 6-4, 7-5. At one doubles, Naperville North looks to close out a team win with freshman McKaylin Waller-Lee and junior Xana Chen. Across the net for the Warriors are junior Chloe Cochran and sophomore Debbie Rao. Waubonsie gets off to a hot start as Rao rips an ace on the corner to give the Warriors an early lead. Later in the set, Cochran has the serve. Chen sends several lobs to the back, which are sent back by Cochran as line drive forehands from the lefty. On the third return from the Huskies, Rao rushes the net and smashes the point down. The Warriors build a 3-0 first set lead. The Huskies find their footing later in the set. Waller-Lee has the serve and works the back line, while Chen patrols near the net. After an exchange of volleys, Chen spins a backhand that the Warriors are unable to corral. The North duo goes on a run to take the first set 6-3. The second set seesaws back and forth. Chen with a tough spinning serve to the right, but Cochran chases it down. Chen scoops a return that is deflected back by Cochran. Rao and Chen exchange rapid volleys until Waller-Lee lobs a return back behind the Warriors, who found themselves at the net. The Huskies hang on for a 7-6 second set victory as Naperville North takes the team win 5-2 after an exciting clash with Waubonsie Valley.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
BMO.
2 dealerships, side by side, identical in every way. What makes the difference? The experience. That's why more people choose Fair Oaks Lincoln. Incredible selection, knowledgeable salespeople, and a world-class experience you can't find anywhere else. Right now, get 0% APR, $0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days on our most popular models at Fair Oaks Lincoln in Naperville.
Another fall of girls volleyball is well underway, and it marks the final season for a Naperville coach. After 34 years at Naperville Central, longtime assistant coach Todd Holmberg got a surprise send-off. Ryan Scrid has more in our latest feature story, presented by Fair Oaks Lincoln.
A longtime Naperville Central assistant volleyball coach recently stepped out onto the court to a surprise honor.
For the past 34 years, Mr. Todd Holmberg has been a cornerstone.
Todd Holmberg was greeted with applause as he accepted the recognition for the difference he's made in many athletes' lives through the years, as he prepares to step into retirement at the end of the school year. He first came to the school in the early 90s as a student teacher and was soon hired as a social studies teacher. But when he's not in the classroom, he's on the court as an assistant coach for the girls' varsity volleyball program. Holmberg started with the group 20 seasons ago, signing on as the coach for the freshman B team. Later, when there was a need for an assistant coach on the varsity team, he stepped up. Bree Isaacson was the varsity head coach at the time and led the charge for Naperville Central to 2 state championships in 2005 and 2007.
It was a fun run. Some of the girls that actually played on my freshman B team earlier on were on the 07 state championship team, which was fun to see them sort of progress from, kids that were, at that time barely making the program to being a starter on a team that, won a state championship. So it was fun.
Current varsity head coach Eric Keisling said Holmberg's help with the team through the years has been critical.
When he retires at the end of the year, I will be happy for him, but I will also be dramatically devastated because that means I'm going to have to find someone to fill that hole, and I don't know if there's a single person that could do what he does.
In tribute to him, Keisling organized the special surprise ceremony, putting together an alumni game with former members from the boys and girls volleyball programs. On the same night that the Redhawks played, they had a pickup game of their own, all while catching up with their old teammates and coaches. There was also a slideshow featuring players from Holmberg's time with the Redhawks and the presentation of an award of appreciation. He was both grateful and humbled by the tributes.
It's a huge surprise. You know, you're not ready for people to acknowledge what you did, right? Because you don't do it for those things, you do it for the kids.
Reflecting on his career, Holmberg hoped that he'd left a positive mark on his athletes.
I think a coach should help kids achieve things that they didn't think they were capable of. And I think through that, right, you can help them be better humans. Most of these kids aren't going to play collegiate volleyball or professional. Some do, right? But they're going to be adults. They're going to be spouses. They're going to be parents, maybe. And I think my job is to help prepare them through challenges, through lessons, through conversations to be better humans.
For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Ryan Scrid. It's our boys' play of the week coming from the football field. The Neuqua Valley Wildcats are up 17-14 at halftime, facing the Metea Valley Mustangs. Wildcats get the ball back in the third quarter, and the ground game dominates as Pierce Stevens takes the handoff and finds the open lane up the left side. He slices past the defense and carves up a 36-yard touchdown. Let's take another look at Stevens finding that open lane. He's able to weave through the flurry of opponents and hit the gas, no problem. This touchdown opened up a 10-point lead for the Wildcats, who went on to secure the victory against the Mustangs.
We'll wrap up this week's show in the water as we take a dip into the Metea Valley pool where the Mustangs welcome the Wildcats of Neuqua Valley.
Neuqua Valley travels to Metea Valley for a DVC swimming matchup. The Wildcats are coming off of a win against Naperville Central, which could help them ride the wave of success to take down the Mustangs on their home turf. But Metea Valley is looking for that home field advantage to swim to a win themselves. Let's dive in. Starting off the night with the 200-yard medley relay, the Mustangs use the home pool to their advantage, and Ellen Chua leads the group of Rachel Carter, Molly Schalk, and Olivia Linduska to first place with a time of 1:52.74, just under a second ahead of the Neuqua group led by Charlie Satlak. The Wildcats' success continues in the 200-yard freestyle. Neuqua's Carolina Pieter gets off to a strong start. She hits the wall first with a time of 2:01.47, 1 second ahead of teammate Annika Anderson, followed by Metea's Ali Rivero in third. As we head into the 200-yard individual medley, the Mustangs respond. Metea's Chua takes an early lead in lane 5. She places first with a time of 2:17.40, and overall 3 seconds ahead of Neuqua's Ariana Minchell in second place, and Neuqua's Kaylin McConkey in third place. Over to the 50-yard freestyle, the Cats are looking to claw back the energy. In lane 4, Neuqua Valley's Pieter is neck and neck with Metea Valley's Olivia Linduska. Pieter is an arm's length ahead of Linduska and will hit the wall first with a time of 24:30. Linduska barely takes second with 24.99. Neuqua's Charlie Satlak comes up third with a time of 26.34. Neuqua has clawed that momentum back and keeps it rolling. The Cats' Sophie Diorio took top spot in the 100-yard butterfly, and Carolina Pieter placed first in the 100-yard freestyle. Now in the 500-yard freestyle, Pieter once again, and she secures the #1 finish with a time of 5:15, a dominating 13 seconds ahead of the pack. Schalk claims second place with Diorio taking third. The Mustangs keep fighting. After placing first in the 200-yard freestyle, Chua competes for the top spot in the 100-yard backstroke. Matthias Chua and Nikwas Satlak battle for the first place finish, and in the end their finishes are only apart by 0.4 of a second. Chua finishes first at 102.91 and Satlak at 102.95. Nikwas Rosie Wong claims third. The Mustangs fight to the last minute, and Rachel Carter's first place finish in the 100-yard breaststroke secures them another top spot. However, Neuqua Valley is able to lock in enough top spot times to walk away with the victory over Metea Valley. The Wildcats add another tally to their DVC victories with a final score of 113-72, defeating Metea on their home turf. Neuqua faces Sandburg next, followed by another away game DVC showdown against Naperville North.
And that closes out another action-packed episode of Naperville Sports Weekly. The temperature still feels like summer, but rest assured, fall postseason is upon us, with the boys and girls golf regionals coming your way in next week's show. And you can find all our highlights, feature stories, and community sports on nctv17.org. You can also find us across all social media platforms at NCTV17. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Kim Pierce. We'll see you again next week.